11:30 a.m. on this Wednesday morning, December 17th, 2025. Well, we still have not had the presence of the greater light. It has taken its time breaking up, if you will. We do have some differences of coloration to the sky. If we can observe any of that back in here, typically indications that the obstructive material is thinning and allowing a light or a greater amount of light to come forth. Yes, a lot of drippage kicking off because the temperatures once again are on the rise, which because of that, well, a lot of activity has been taking place out here in the woodlands, if you want to call them that. And what I have spotted, and I am not seeing them right now. I don't know where they disappeared to, but we have some very young black fox squirrels out here. Little bitty black squirrels. And I was really wanting to capture them, but I got rolling this recording just a little too late, I believe. So I might just go ahead and put this on pause until I spot them once again. I do have a little bit of continuation from today's earlier topics of discussion, if you will, that I want to bring forth, but right now I'm just once again going to go ahead and put this on pause until those little guys or gals or both should start hopping back around, and we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and continue on. Maybe they might make their appearance as I do my, keeping fingers crossed, a short little talk. And remember, if you watched the earlier recording today, yes, I am going on a very short amount of sleep, so please bear with me. So I decided to do a little bit of Google searching, and of course, even if you don't select that AI option through that search engine, you still get a main reply through that search through AI. So anyways, I just thought to bring up a question now. Why isn't there cats made mention of in the Bible? And I also had another question in mind to ask after I had received an answer to that question pertaining to that of dogs, because I wanted to know overall how dogs were perceived through the writers or writings of the Bible. And, well, the answers that came up, top answer, of course, through AI, was exactly as my expectations of that answer was to be, or at least it coincided with my thoughts. Now, and furthermore, the response that I had got back from that search answered both of my questions, even though, I had not made mention of the dog inquiry. So it was kind of unique how that came about, just through asking about why no cats were made mention of in the Bible. And then I asked if it was basically a good idea to see animals as being symbolic. And that actually came up to be a rather uplifting response. And I won't go into detail over those responses that are received. You can just go ahead and go down those rabbit holes of research if you so desire by asking the same questions. Excuse me. So I got back decent response or answer to the questions of in regards to seeing animals as being symbolic. The only problem with the response that I did get is the factor that AI has already incorporated itself as being part of the human experience, if you will. Because the response that I got, which was a connection of human to animal symbology, it stated our. Okay, just the word our is very symbolic in itself when it comes to AI and humans, because now I have noticed that AI, whenever I do these searches through the Google search engine and these AI responses, it continually brings up this connection of us to it by that use of the word our or we. Okay? Thus indicating and signifying the evolution of what is to come through that connection of man and machine, if you will. Digital machine. We have to remember this is all about digital technology and the future of where that will propel us. And once again, we have to bring up factors and factions of 6G technology. Yeah. And unfortunately, I am not seeing, I don't know, it seems as though maybe everyone is basically napping out right now. I'm not seeing a whole lot of activity out here in the woods. So, unfortunately, maybe this was just supposed to be a period of talk time and not really that of observation. So I am thinking about creating a community posting just to show what I came up with, but I think I believe instead of think that I am just going to leave it as is and not do a community posting because of if this has sparked any interest. Once again, you can do your own Google searching with basically the same questions that I brought forth and more than likely come up with the same type of information as what I have just shared. So it does appear as though this is, I'll darken this down a little bit. Once again, like this morning, how it was quite patchy looking out here. Not so much blue and gray, but now white and gray if you will. Again, yeah. So I believe I will go ahead and leave it at that. It has been taking pathetically long today to upload the previous video, and I imagine it will be just the same as with this one. Until next time, when maybe we should get a viewing of that greater light, if it should finally make its appearance and increase the melting factor that much more. Well, I don't believe I have anything else until that given point in time. And, well, I do see Lone Junco. Well, just flew off. I have not really looked at the feeding grounds. Yeah. Other than but a few occasional birds that fly about, I have not been seeing hardly any activity now. And I really did want to show those little black fox squirrels. Better luck next time. And yeah, once again, I am standing here half in, half out of this slider doorway to the balcony, and so this might not come out all that great. Oh, here we go. I do believe this is our greater light that is attempting to come through now. Right up in here. Or within the location thereof, possibly still low in the more or less southern horizon. Yeah, it is getting brighter back in here. But anyways, the visuals of this recording might not be great because I am half in, half out, and dealing with heat vapors. Yeah, it does appear as the light is coming through, or being allowed to. I was wanting to keep this short. Yeah, never happens, or rarely does. I should correct myself. Not sure, but it almost sounds like there's a small engine aircraft flying about. Okay, hey, there we go. There we go, it is beginning. We can see the direction of the movement here. And once again, yeah, these are moving basically west to east. Boy, that almost looks like a past trail right there. This almost looks like a, yeah, boy, those are moving quick. And so, yeah, we just might capture some cloud coloration, possibly, I don't know. Oh yeah, we are getting quite a little bit more blue coming through. We still have an awful lot to deal with. Alright, I'll go ahead and resume a little bit later, I do believe. Until then, have yourselves a great one. Thank you for watching. Alrighty, jumping from the morning hours into now the afternoon as it is 12:15 p.m. on this Wednesday, December 17th, 2020, or 18th, yeah, 2025. Sorry for the little whoops. We now have this greater light that has made its appearance here. We still have somewhat a lot of milkiness to the skies. I would step out to give a better perspective, a more of a look about viewing, but well, I really don't want to get dripped on. And we got Blue Jay back here, kind of diverting my attention, sidetracking me, if you will. But anyways, plenty of time for sky observations throughout this day, but well, I'm getting burned out on recording stuff, if you will. We do have still quite a little bit of cloud coverage back here in the southern horizon. When on a day like today, I don't need to take a midday trip out to the feeding grounds, as the water will not be freezing up. I really don't feel like doing any further recordings once again. Well, yeah, birds are moving in. Zipping around. What are you trying to tell me? Huh? I don't know if I captured that or not. That was quite crazy. And of course, you know, almost directly right across from where I'm standing, they located themselves. Yeah, right here. Be nice if I could zoom in just that much more. But yeah, I have half a mind just to say, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and take a nice hot bath? Because, well, I won't be getting much posted today, as this morning's recording is still uploading at this hour. And I have been deliberately trying to stay off of the internet, as well as staying away from doing any recordings, but that has not done anything in the way of increasing the speed of the process. It's still moving rather quickly. And I swear, up and down, all these trees out here have buds on the branches. I mean, they really, honestly, look like they are budding out. I don't know, maybe we'll get some colorations that It will come in. Well, that thing looks mighty small today. Probably even smaller once I dim this down. I do have this one that is somewhat near the light. Yeah, I'm not seeing any colorations as of yet. Oh my. Oh my. Now the sparrows are flying right up. Yeah, so we'll have to dim this down once again. You hear them chirping away. Zoom, zoom. Yeah, they're wanting their. Oh yeah, okay. They're wanting their typical roosting or perching spot. Excuse me. Yeah, we might be getting just a wee little bit of color. Well, I don't know. We do have some more that's right up in here, but yeah. Yeah. Awful lot of splattering kicking off from the drippage. Where you at? Oh, there you are. There might even be more up here, I don't know. Once again, I don't even know if I got that one in the shot. Well, they're flying right up. Oh yeah. They're flying, they're right up over my head on the rope. Anyways, that's enough. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great one. All of these unforgivable fake endings. I'm telling you what, it's not my doing, people. I apologize. You know, I just shut the camera off. And yeah. Can we see? I was quite curious. I had the feeling, right? I knew that it, you know. It was too good to be true, if you will, of the clearing of the skies. And you know, where's he at? There we go. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess it has begun, right? So, on that note, and of course, you know, where is it headed? Well, let us find out here, huh? Okay, there we go. And up we shall go as well. So, once again, oh, nice glitch. Thank you for watching. Take care. And have yourselves a great one.